guys, what is going on? This is your old pal CHH. Happy Saturday. I hope everybody's going to have a great, relaxing weekend with your loved ones. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, which is tomorrow, Sunday. I know that You Need a Candles. We're dropping a really cool Psycho 2 melt for Mother's Day. I think that's going to drop Sunday or Monday. Please follow the link and follow our Instagram. You Need a Candles. That way you'll know for sure. Those smell amazing, by the way. We've got 50th anniversary Jaws stuff coming out. I can't wait for all that. Before we even talk about this, I want to say some people were asking me to bring back Album of the Day, which I thought would be fun. So today's album is Mr. Welcome to the Real World. You know, of course, Broken Wings. Kiri, Is It Love? A lot of big hit singles on this one. Great band. I love those big AOR bands that really have just really talented songwriting. Broken Wings is one of those songs that, like, it's one of those songs that it's a serious-sounding song, but it makes you feel good at the same time. It's actually a very, very impressive song, and I'm a big fan of them. So Mr. is going to be the album of the day. Arrow decided to basically just kind of sneak peek a lot of the stuff that they've got coming out over the next probably several months, and we'll run down what it is. They actually played an interesting little, summer vibe kind of teaser video for this. So let's go ahead and play that video. So there you have it, guys. It kind of blew through real fast, but I'm sure some of you noticed some titles, and they were great. So I tried pausing this and try to get a good look at all the images, but I want to give a shout-out to The Disc Connected, because he actually did an Instagram post where he wrote down all the movies listed. So we'll start, and I'll go with the order that he has on his Instagram page. The first one is the 1981 movie Thief, which makes me think that that'll probably be a UK release, because I believe Thief came out from Criterion Collection in the United States of America. That was James Caan, too, I believe. And I want to say that they did a 4K or a Blu-ray of that already in America from Criterion. I can't remember. I think I have it. It's an amazing film. I know I watched it, but I can't remember what format it was. But yeah, The Thief, 1981, that is a really, really good film. If that's something you haven't seen, I give a lot of praise to that. Next up, guys, we have Mona Lisa from 1986. Now, this movie, I can't tell you a whole lot about. I've never even heard of it, to be honest with you. Mona Lisa, there you have it. That is 1986. Next up, we have To Live and Die in L.A. Now, I've been on record. This is an incredible film. It's funny, we were just talking about music a second ago. To Live and Die in L.A. is a William Friedkin film. Obviously, if you're just not familiar with the name right off the bat, The Exorcist. William Friedkin has done some of, if not the greatest movies of all time. I actually want to give a shout-out to a movie he did in the 2000s. It was called Bug. Oh, my God. Bug was, like, impressive for a guy his age to do a movie like that, and as intense, and a movie that has so much grit. It feels like a movie by a director that was hungry still, somebody that was trying to make a name for themselves with not a lot of money. That's how good Bug was. So I'm actually going to give a shout out to Bug real quick, and I'm going to tell you what, Kino put that out. You can get a Blu-ray or a 4K of Bug, but I'll tell you, if you haven't seen that, Bug is the real deal. But anyway, To Live and Die in L.A. is my favorite William Friedkin film. I think it's one of the most stylized crime thriller films, as well as having great music from Wang Chung, who did the soundtrack. And the title track, To Live and Die in L.A., is one of the best songs from the 80s. I mean, it's such a great song. If you haven't heard that song before, do me a favor, go out of your way to listen to the soundtrack today. Again, with these being 4K, it basically opens the doors. Now, they probably will have a Blu-ray version as well with some of these titles that we're mentioning. Time will tell. Sometimes they'll have a Blu-ray option. Sometimes they won't. I would assume that they'll probably have both for To Live and Die in L.A., considering Kino Lorber did that. And I think Scream Factory had a Blu-ray for To Live and Die in L.A., but great movie. Absolutely great film. I would really consider that one if you haven't seen it, or if you don't own it at all. To me, it's a masterpiece. Creepshow 2. They announced Creepshow 2 4K. I'm actually going to say something real quick. So here's what's interesting. Creepshow 2, I don't know for sure. Time will tell with this. Will Creepshow 2 be UK? Will Creepshow 2 be US as well? Will it be both? Time will tell. Here's what I'll say. Creepshow 2 came out on Blu-ray in the States back in 2016. So, I have seen some people saying things like, oh, I just bought the Blu-ray, blah, blah, blah. For those people, that sucks. For me personally, I'm not going to be upset about Creepshow 2 because I remember when I interviewed Cliff McMillan, who is now the acquisitions guy for Arrow Video. If you don't know that by name, please go watch that interview I did. He was the basically a co-founder of Scream Factory. I remember off camera, I said, "Hey Cliff, where's Creepshow 2 on 4K? That movie came out years ago. I'm sure a lot of people would love to get that." And he said, okay. Not taking credit by any stretch, but I know that I was like, "Where is it at, man? That came out years ago." I would anticipate that being US as well as the UK, because I don't foresee Arrow letting that go for 4K and letting Scream Factory have it. But then again, we saw what happened with Killer Clowns. That's the interesting tale with that. But I don't know. Regardless, though, it's coming out in either one of them, probably both. My hope is that we really get some new stuff. But at the same time, here's what I'll say. Michael Felsher announced as well that they're doing a documentary about Creepshow 2 for 2026. This could be something totally independent, but if you guys remember, Synapse Films put out a Blu-ray for a documentary called Just Desserts, which was this huge Creepshow documentary. It came out in 2007. This looks like it's the follow-up to that documentary, which was legendary. So now there's going to be this Just Desserts 2, so to speak. I forgot the name of it. Go to Michael Felsher's Facebook, and he teased it and showed what the name was. But they're going to be doing their own big documentary in the film. Could be something totally independent. But Creepshow 2 looks like it's going to be coming out this year. I would anticipate that being US and UK. And hopefully they do some gorgeous artwork and do something a little bit different, since I own the original Blu-ray release. I like to have something a little bit different. Next up, guys, we do have Nightbreed. I did pass on Nightbreed from Scream Factory. I like Nightbreed. I've got that really cool Scream Factory Blu-ray set where they had the big mix-up, and where they sent the box set to people who had singular releases, and the people that got the singular releases got the box set. I now own that box set, which is a nice release. With Nightbreed, it's one of those things where, I like the theatrical cut, and that's really the way I watch the film. I think it's more of a horror film. I actually agree with the studio and less with Clive on the cuts of the film. I prefer the movie to be a little bit more scary as opposed to, more of like the romance love story I think that the director's cut is. I'd have to rewatch it. It's been a while since I've rewatched, but I know I really prefer the theatrical cut. So I don't know with this one. It'll more than likely be another pass for me personally. But for you out there, now you're going to have options. You'll be able to see what Arrow can offer with Nightbreed, what they may have special with theirs, and then you could, go back and forth with the Scream Factory 4K, and you can make a educated purchase on that. Here's what I will say. I think Nightbreed's a good film, especially the theatrical cut. Now, they'll probably do 4Ks of both cuts, but, and that's a good thing. But don't sleep on the theatrical cut of Nightbreed. I think that's a good version. Next up, guys, Rawhead Rex. I'm actually going to go to bat for Rawhead Rex a little bit. This movie gets a lot of crap. It's not a masterpiece by any stretch, but I actually think that there's a little more there than the film gets credit for. I think it's an entertaining little horror film. I think the character of Rawhead is really cool, and I'm actually pretty interested in seeing this one in 4K. Here's what I will say, though. Definitely check the film out before buying it. It may be a little slower for people, but I think that there are some great 80s monster movie moments in Rawhead Rex, and I think the character is I just love it. It's a creature feature. What can I say? And this was Clive Barker, by the way. Now, I don't remember if it was a short story. I don't remember the specifics about Rawhead Rex, but it was a Clive Barker, type of movie. He didn't make the film, but I know it's a Clive Barker Presents type of thing. So next up, we have The Apartment from 1960. Again, unfortunately, I don't know anything about this, so hopefully somebody in the chat can give me a little bit of information about The Apartment. We also have The Visitor from 1979, and interestingly, at this moment, maybe when I look at the poster art of it, which I'm sure I'm bringing up, maybe I've heard of this, but why is this not ringing a bell to me whatsoever? This is 1979, so it should be right up my wheelhouse. Late 70s are fantastic years for movies. Just such an amazing time. There's so many films from the late 70s that I love. So I feel like I should know The Visitor, but for some reason it's not clicking with me. I don't know why. And last but certainly not least, they did tease The Sadness, which I tell you guys, The Sadness, it's like The Evil Dead meets Demons on crack. It is so gory. I don't want to spoil it, but there are some moments in this film that are so intensely disturbing. I give a lot of credit for this film for going for it. I forgot where I saw the sadness. I believe I got a Blu-ray from a horror pack, actually, when they sent me one just like to promo it. And you know, sometimes you get good stuff. A lot of times you get kind of decent stuff. But I remember that one. I was like, oh my God, they actually sent me the sadness in this one. If you haven't seen the sadness, if you love gory horror, you're going to want to get this one. The sadness is absolutely fantastic. It is super gory, super intense. I credit the sadness a lot. So I think that's it, guys. So it's interesting. Now, mind you, these are probably spread out through certain months, so there's still probably a lot of stuff we're going to hear about as the months go on. It's important to note that they didn't have any, I wouldn't call any of these gigantic spoilers. What does that mean? I still think there's a lot of a chance that we could get a Freddy versus Jason. I still think there's a big chance we can get the Elm Street remake, because it seems like Warner Brothers and Arrow, they're interlocking. And here's another thing, guys. We could see those Texas Chainsaw Platinum Dunes movies, which were basically, those are under Warner Brothers too, right? Because that was New Line. Guys, you know, don't let that, I mean, I'm sure maybe some of you guys were looking for those. I wouldn't fret too much. I don't think that's something they're going to tease. They're going to want to pop that out and not tease too much. So we'll see, guys. But that's the leaks that they gave us today. So hopefully you guys are interested in some of that. We'll find out release dates soon. But for now, this is your old pal CHH. Have a great weekend, everybody, and happy Mother's Day. I'll talk to y'all very, very soon. Take care, guys.
Huge, giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind-the-scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.